Hey everybody, this is Chris with MLC Performance Fabrication. Now after I released my part 4 to the how to build a dirt late model body, I got a few questions from viewers. First question was, how big of a brake do I need to build these cars? Second one was, what all tools do you need to build this car? We'll just do a quick little run through of the tools required to build this car. It doesn't take anything fancy. You don't have to spend $1 million to do this. Some simple hand tools, a little patience, and some creativity, you can build this car just as easily. Here is a little array of tools I figured is the bare bones. Some of these things are options. Some of these things are necessities. All right, let's start with the necessities. A decent tape measure. At least a 20-foot one. Second, you need some sort of decent straight edge. A 4-foot level works great, a drywall square works great, or even just a piece of aluminum angle that you use for the body bracing. Next, need something to mark with. Sharpies are amazing. I use Sharpies quite a bit, and I use a lot of Sharpies. Also, what I've used mostly on this car and through most of the videos is this. I bought this off Amazon after seeing it on a YouTuber's weld page. It's a Mark All Pro. Uses a graphite insert, and this thing marks on wood, it marks on the plastic easily, it marks on metal. It's got like a clicker style, pen style adjustment to get the graphite fed through. This thing is great, but this works just as well. Next, a drill. It can be corded, it can be cordless, doesn't matter, as long as you use it to make a hole. Also, you're gonna need a nice assortment of 3/16 drill bits because the rivets you'll be setting on this car are 3/16 rivets. Going down the list, then we need something, after we lay out our aluminum and lay out all of our body panels, we need something to cut the aluminum with. Now this can be done completely with a set of Irwin shears. The first car I ever built, I cut out every deck panel, every cockpit panel, every body panel with this pair of shears right here. They did the job, and they're still doing the job. They're just great, and I still use them in one way or another on every car I do. And they can be had for, I think these are about $30. This guy is an option to that, a little more expensive. It's a Harbor Freight electric shear. It's a zero waste shear, so you don't leave that little strip when you're cutting. This will take the time down, and this one can be had for less than 60 bucks. And honestly, I think I've only used this thing once or twice. I bought this, and then I got this. Now the sad part is Master Force no longer makes this, but this little bugger, it's great. You know, you can almost cut 3/4 of the body on one battery, and this is only a 12 volt. And I've had this for almost 4 years now, and I've only spun the blades one time. So this thing here has been great, but these here will do the same job at a fraction of the price. Now your next important item, a rivet gun. Now right here is just a Harbor Freight air pneumatic rivet gun. Does the job perfect, but so will this. Now the first car I built was with this, the whole car. Yeah, I probably should have had Popeye forearms by the time it was all said and done. So Yeah, complete old school, first car. Those two tools right there, all the cutting, all the riveting with this right here, and between the two is about $50. Now, the next thing you need is a decent set of aviation snips. These you will use for cutting around roll bars, notching the end of your panels, doing some finish cuts, cleaning up edges. These are indispensable. And a set of these Craftsman Evolve, I want to say are under 30 bucks for all three of them. And I think the yellow one is the one I use the most, because the yellow is a straight cut, red is a left-hand cut, and green is a right-hand cut. So out of necessities, I mean, if you're just starting out and you're doing your first car, right there, right there so far, including a drill, is your required hand tool kit to build that body. Now, for a late model, you're also going to need to build these, like I showed these in part 5, where we did the fenders. You'll need these shrinkers. Now you can make a set of these, or you can go to Weir's Machine. Weir's Machine sells these too. It's really the same thing, except they got a fancier end on them. But for a late model, here you go. Now, a pair of these, welding, these come in handy for if you're doing dashboard panels. Maybe you're doing a cockpit panel with a surround that's got a really small bend you need to make on it. It doesn't really work out in the brake. You can put these on there and accomplish the same thing. Now next, a decent speed square. Kind of self-explanatory. Yeah, that's your required hand tools. These right here, options. This will make your life so much more easier. This one makes it amazing. Easy. Definitely gonna give you a workout. Amazing. Not required, not required. At least required. Now as for the brake, this is just a easy bend. And what it is, it's a 6-foot brake. It'll do 72 inches clear. I think I can put a 72-inch piece in here, and I can have, I think it's like a 1/2 inch left. So, I mean, it's got 72 and a half on the throat. And this will do pretty much everything you need to do for a modified or a late model. Street stock, you know, I've never been a street stock with this brake, so I can't really tell you how that goes. This thing is great, and you can pick up used brakes anywhere between, you know, 600 to 800 bucks, depending on what you're looking for. And this brake here, it's done a lot of bodies, and it's just been super reliable. Now the next thing, this is 2 parts here. Other thing you would need is a decent saw, because you're gonna need the saw to cut your aluminum body bracing, your strapping, if you go that route, or you can also do it with an angle grinder with a cutoff wheel. And then there's also the old tried and true Sawzall. So, I mean, you don't need a ton of fancy equipment to build these, and you can get great results. I mean, a drill, some hand tools, and you can build that as well. With that, I think I'm gonna call it quits. If you haven't yet, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. You guys have a great night, and I'll see you in the next episode.